In today's CTO Focus session, I am joined by the CTO of SmarTone Hong Kong, Stephen Chau. Stephen, so great to have you here in Stockholm. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Erik.
So let's start directly where we should focus this session on the network. The 4G network, the 5G network is at the center of SmarTone's business. You have a very successful home 5G broadband service that's providing great service, it's growing. Can you give us some more insights of how that is performing? What's the status and any challenges in terms of fixed wireless access?
Well, thank you for your question on the FWA. I'm very pleased to have this conversation. In fact, when we roll 5G, FWA is one of the, I would say, the key business opportunity for us. If I go back to early 2000, we already actually have an attempt to offer FWA based on 3G HSDPA. That was already have some early success, but I think, as we all know, as a technology platform, 3G probably is too early.
Not enough capacity, not the right user experience for broadband.
And then it actually eat up all the capacity for the mobile user as well. Therefore, we actually then scale down a bit. So when 5G is available, and I thought it's actually the perfect platform for us to make a serious attempt, and it proved to be, very, very rewarding, I would say. And so today we already have more than 10% of our customers already on FWA. So it proved, 5G does do a good job on the providing the alternative solution, the fiber, and it covers not just about the what expected residential, household. It also actually covers, in Hong Kong, there's a lot of SME running small shop.
Yeah, you notice that when you travel in Hong Kong, there's a lot of flexibility in these pop-up shops, and it really has to be flexible. That's what you realize.
And in Hong Kong, there's so many exhibitions every year. And today, they don't need to run the cable. They can just use the 5G as an alternative. So I think there's still a good potential for us to grow the market. And also, because we are so successful, we invite all our players to come into this competition. That's good, because then the whole market really will heat up. So I'm very pleased on that.
And I think it's a good example also that you're serving, of course, mobile consumers, mobile broadband users on smartphones, but also fixed wireless users, residential users on the same network. And that gives you flexibility to do that, the network does it, but you also need to customize and have more like tailored network services. So how do you look at the optimization, the use of AI and other technologies to manage the complexity?
Yeah, you're right. Also, is what we learned from the 3G arena. And when we roll FWA on the 5G, we are really cautious. We cannot compromise the mobile experience, the experience of the mobile user. So we are actually making use the network data, using the AI and machine learning, train the model, and that actually tell us the capacity utilization, from the FWA user versus the mobile user. So with that, then we're able to partition or actually dynamically allocate the resources so as to not just meet the FWA user requirement, but also not actually jeopardizing the mobile users' experience. That's very important. We're actually using the model to score every single of our users so that we understand how they use. Then if they had a problem, we can fix it, or we will actually call them to help them to improve the situation. Small things like just relocating the router to a better location, that already can improve a lot in terms of the overall, the mobile or the wireless fixed broadband experience. So these are the things, if you are able to make use of the network data in a smarter way, it helps a lot. It's not something we can rely on engineer to do it. So that is something we are working really hard on it.
And I assume that's really one of the key reasons that you have consistently, Stephen, been selected as the best performing network in Hong Kong. So congratulations on that one. I think it's a fantastic achievement, and it is a very special market, very dense, very crowded. But it's really about providing that user experience that matches the needs, whether it's consumers, whether it's a residential, as you mentioned, fixed wireless access, but you're also serving hard to reach places. Think of the mass transit, the rail system that transports many people every day. So how do you really work with that network planning and making sure that there is consistent performance everywhere?
Well, first of all, I think we all know that you want to offer a good quality mobile service. Coverage is very important. So from day one, we provide the most extensive coverage in Hong Kong. When we launch a 5G, we make use of your Ericsson spectrum sharing so as to make sure, wherever our people use, they will have the 5G coverage. On the other hand, we also notice, if we want to win the customer, respect, you need to address their pain point. You need to understand where they use the service, how they use the service. You mentioned about the mass transit railway, the transportation. Every day they carry 4 to 5 million commuters. So if we cannot address the user experience down in the MTR, you will never get the good sort of recall on the network quality. So we spend quite a bit of effort. Thanks for your help. We get the team, your team down to Hong Kong, and we work on every single parameters. We train and we tune up the network, and we prove, our network experience down in the MTR is so far unbeatable. So that's actually make a major impact to us, to our user, and also allow us to win the trust from the customers. So that I think is very important. Also, recently we also make use of the small cell on all the small hotspot. In Hong Kong there's a lot of outdoor concert, easily attract crowd of people. So
outdoor concerts?
Outdoor concert, yeah. They run the concert on outdoor. So thousand people, they will actually gather at the same time. And you cannot provide a good experience at the moment when you upload your
precious moment, the videos, and absolutely.
You're there. So how to make sure they are, upon the time they want to use the service, they can use it with a good experience. That's very important. So altogether is how I call it, is a customer obsessive. Everything you do from a customer end, you have to make sure the end user, they feel they are well served, so that you can win this game.
And I think it resonates so well with how we see that the industry now needs to evolve, because it's all about putting the network at the center where highest performance, but also consistent performance becomes critical to be able to create new innovations on top of 5G, new capabilities. But it really starts with having great coverage, great capacity, great user experience, great low latency, and so forth. So I think it's really at the core of where we think that the industry needs to go. But it's also, I think, a few learnings from the more innovative areas of using the network in new ways. I'm thinking about dynamic quality of service for gamers. That's something that you've been working on and exploring. How do you see that we can continue to create more differentiated services for different user groups?
Well, first of all, friends, to bring this feature to us, this is quite unique. We can actually offer the on demand, push up the experience.
Quality of service on demand.
Yeah, exactly. We are still on the early pilot. We actually have run some closed user group. The response so far is very positive. We are actually talking to some gaming as a content provider. The things that when you roll into the market, you need to make sure the end-to-end. It's not just a single, features. The customer, they don't care. What they care, what they trust is that particular, whole end-to-end user experience. So when we launch this service, we want to make sure end-to-end they work well. So not just about the technology, but also the content, the whole UI, UX for the whole journey. So these are the areas that we are working on it. And I'm sure there will be a lot of other new features coming, network slicing, all these things. So we have to think how to actually make use of it, and from the end user perspective. So this is something we learned from our operation over the past years.
I think it's a fantastic journey, not just these last examples of high performance, differentiated networks, segmentation, services that are tailored to the needs, but just the journey that you have gone through over the many years. That's consistently having focus on the network, the performance everywhere, and of course also then creating new opportunities for people to use mobile in completely new environments, fixed wireless access, but also now advanced outdoor concerts and many other places. I want to thank you, Stephen. This is a great partnership, but also thanks for sharing your thoughts about how to build the best performing network and what really to focus on. So big thank you.
Thank you, and I'm very pleased to have a partner like you. Thank you very much.